Welcome back to another video. My name is Abby and today we're talking about 3 steps on how to make affirmations work for you. Now, if you're new to this channel and you want more videos like this one, go ahead and hit subscribe right now so you don't miss future videos. And if you like this video, a great way to support this channel and let me know you like this content is by simply clicking that like button. It really helps to spread this message. So 3 steps on how to make affirmations work for you. This video is actually inspired by a request from the comments. So if there's a video topic or a video idea that you want me to expand on, go ahead and leave it in the comments below and I will get to it as soon as I can. The first thing we need to ask ourselves is why affirmations? Well, because you want to change, right? And why is it that you want that change? What's going on and where did it start? What is this origin? From the last trimester of your biological mother to 7 years old, you're actually in theta brainwave. And what does that mean? That basically means that you are a giant sponge. Theta brainwave is the brainwave of your subconscious. So when you're in that age range, you're actually just looking around and taking it to be true. It's just going straight in and being stored. And after the age of 35, 95% of your life is ruled by your subconscious. That's according to Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. So if most of your programming is coming between the ages of the last trimester of your biological mother and 7 years old, and you never re-reason on that, that means that you are living off of that. And these are called associated memories. So something happened when you were younger. Maybe you saw your parents arguing and you made a connection about that. And maybe it was about you and you thought you had done something wrong and now they're fighting. And you shouldn't say what you want because when you do that, then something bad happens. Even though it's subtle, you literally have this in your unconscious and you have that associative memory. So when you express yourself, bad things happen, there's conflict. Now that gets stored in an implicit memory system. And basically that means unconscious. That means you're walking around and you have these unconscious associated memories. When you do this happens, you're not aware of it. So a lot of your life, you're doing things that you don't know why you're doing. And when we're using affirmations, we're trying to make changes, but if we have these deep unconscious things, it's going to prohibit us. So actually the first step on making affirmations work for you is to take the topic, whether it be about your career, whether it be about your abundance and financial security, or a romantic relationship. You need to do a deep dive into this topic. What's your first memory? In this case, this video was originally inspired by a romantic situation that this person can't find love. This person's manifesting everything else, but they can't seem to find that relationship. What is the first memory that you have about relationships, about love? It could be your parents. Maybe you grew up in a home where you had both your parents and you saw them arguing a lot. Potentially when you were a child interacting with a parent, your first experience when you went to connect was rejection. So if you have that and now you're seeking romantic relationships, but you equate love to be rejection, there's part of you that's going to hold off. It's going to build walls because you are trying to keep yourself safe. You're not aware that you have this memory and this association that when I go towards love, I get rejected. When I go towards love, I get abandoned. So you keep trying to go and get this, but you're actually holding yourself back because you associate relationships with pain. There could be a multitude of other situations, but you can get how the associative memory can have a great impact on how you're actually approaching that situation. So the big thing here is that you need to bring awareness. You can do somatic therapy. You could do prompts, journaling first thing in the morning so you're in a lower brain wave because your brain goes from delta, which is deep sleep, to theta, which we talked about earlier, which is the gateway brain wave to the subconscious, to alpha, to beta, which is basically you and me right now. You're actively listening to this and I'm actively talking. So when we can wake up really early and do a journal prompt, we're still in that alpha brainwave and we can actually tap into our subconscious and you can ask yourself questions. As wild as that sounds, I've experienced this many times and was shocked at how much I actually knew where my subconscious was coming out without any sort of conscious thought. When we bring awareness into this and we start remembering, oh yeah, I have a memory of being rejected by a parent, or maybe you had a crush when you were 5 years old and you went and gave them a Valentine and there was some sort of abandonment, whatever the case may be, when you bring awareness into that situation, you bring light, you bring consciousness, as Neville Goddard says, then you get a chance to re-reason on that and unhook that anchor of pain and association, and then you're free to act in the world and be that which you want to experience. You're going to ultimately remove that unconscious barrier. Now, the second step on how to make affirmations work for you is to remember that an affirmation is a reminder. It is a prompt to get you to feel and think in that new state of being. According to Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, how you think is the electrical charge of the electromagnetic impulse, and how you feel, that elevated emotions, how you're bringing and drawing those experiences to you. So when you have this affirmation, whatever the case may be, about whatever topic, and you're thinking and you're feeling in that new state of being, again, being is how you think and how you feel. A lot of times where people go wrong in affirmations is they're thinking. They're in their head and they're thinking all the things and they're thinking and saying the things, but they don't feel. You still feel in lack, you still feel unworthy, you still feel unloved. So until you shift into that new feeling, you're not going to be able to draw in that new experience from the quantum field. The other key, even if you're able to do this, say, in the morning and at night, the major part of your day, how many hours are you able to stay in this state? The affirmation is that reminder. It's that catalyst to get you into the state of thinking and feeling of who it is that you want to be, and that reflection that you want back from the universe. So you need to stay as long as you possibly can in that state of being. Ideally, you stay in that state of being the entire day, over and over and over, and eventually the universe has no other choice, since it's a giant mirror, but to reflect that back to you. Who it is that you're being, it is going to reflect it back to you. So if you're having affirmations not working right now, are you feeling those elevated emotions of that which you want to experience? And if you are, how long are you able to sustain that throughout the day? Who is it that you really are on a being level for the majority of the day? Now, the third step into making affirmations work for you is to realize that you must surrender your old self. And that sounds really simple. Yeah, I don't want that, Abby. I want the new stuff. The old self is familiar. And I have a video about surrendering versus letting go, and why it's pivotal that you surrender. That means that you give over possession. You hand it away. You don't have access to it anymore. And that looks like no longer thinking and feeling in those old states. And a lot of times what happens, you say affirmations, you're diligent, and things are going good. In the case of the example for this video, manifesting all these things are going good, but this one part isn't going good. And then you're kind of like, why isn't this changing? Every time you're questioning who you're trying to be, you're actually in that old state. You're having distance from who it is that you want to be. If you are being it right now, there is no separation. You're in it. You're doing it. And again, the universe has no other choice but to reflect it back. If you're not seeing those things and you continually are going in and out of why isn't it happening? Why isn't it happening? Okay, I'm going to be it. Okay, why isn't it happening? You continue to go back into that old state of being. You continue to fire and wire that same neurological network that's reminding you of who you are. You need to bring a lot of awareness to become so aware of what you're thinking that you no longer think it. You no longer allow yourself to think and feel that old way. It's just the same as you see those giant scales and you have two buckets. Every thought is a coin. At the end of the day, how many coins are towards that new state of being and how many are at the old one? Ideally, you want all those 60 to 80,000 thoughts. You want them in that new bucket for the new you. The less you think, the less you fire, the less you wire, the more those old ways of being prune apart. You need to remember that you have to surrender the old self before you can really be as a default in that new you. And until you're really feeling this, and until you're really unhooking and removing those anchors, those affirmations aren't fueled. So when you're in that state of being for a continued amount of time, when you're really feeling deeply, then those affirmations are fueled. And until then, as long as you're only thinking and saying them, you will continually find a reflection of who you are, who you were, and not who it is that you want to be, not experiencing the things in life that you want. And you deserve to experience and have the life that you want. Thinking and feeling, bringing awareness throughout the day of who it is that you are. You will get a reflection back consistently of who you are being. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, hit the like button. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.